Hello, vibrant viewers, and welcome to Healthy Living. Most of us wonder about the elements of excellent health and often ask, why did I get this illness? Or, why am I not feeling as well as I should? Or, what can I do to improve my health? On today's episode, we will learn the answers to these and other health-related questions from renowned health pioneer and vegan, Dr. Adele Telloren. Dr. Telloren is a licensed physician, university professor, and holistic scientist. He promotes functional medicine, a science-based, natural approach to diagnosis and therapy. Dr. Telloren, who received his medical training in Europe and the U.S., is also a doctor of chiropractic and a licensed nutritionist certified with the American Clinical Board of Nutrition. Currently President Emeritus, Dean of Medical Sciences, and Professor of Functional and Nutritional Medicine at the University of Natural Medicine in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Dr. Telloren has founded and supported many projects, including a health network called Ecopolitan, which houses, among other things, a detoxification and healing hospital, a raw juice bar, and a non-profit 100% organic raw vegan restaurant. Dr. Telloren believes that through a balanced, organic, vegan lifestyle, one can maintain a high state of health.
Everything goes down the drain when people get sick, and most people are getting sick. The only way to address that is with a science-based approach that looks for the causation, that understands the nutritional ramification, the environmental aspects, the pollutional aspects, the stress and emotions that factor into this thing called disease. And only when you address all those factors and causative agents, you can actually improve people's health. And then they can have the enthusiasm and the excitement about making this world a worthwhile place to live in.
There are numerous medical reports evidencing that many diseases arise from the consumption of animal products. Dairy products such as milk and ice cream are not truly the wholesome foods that they are portrayed to be.
People are not aware that they're eating pus every day. People are always thinking of the benefits of dairy as a lunch program when we have so many children who have asthma only during the school year when they're forced to do dairy as a part of their lunch. Then in the summer they avoid dairy and the asthma disappears. We are force-feeding an entire society a food that is not made for human consumption. And that is a travesty. Based on our physiological adaptation over the millennia, our anatomy, our biochemistry are tending to be plant-based. But in our thousands and thousands of years of evolution, we have adapted to various foods that nature has provided us, which were largely plant-based, and very, very little of it, maybe 1 to 2 or 3% of it, was not plant-based. They are largely 95 to 99% vegan.
Physiologically, the human body is not designed for meat consumption.
If it were, we would have the anatomy to capture the flesh, to capture the meat with our own teeth and nail, and to engage in feeding frenzies without the convenience of cooking, tenderizing, coloring, increasing shelf life, and making such flesh entities become a palatable thing on a plate. It wouldn't have happened. Our digestive system is not made for that in its length. We develop putrefaction, we develop fermentation, we have insufficient stomach acids to handle the load, and in general, it affects our biochemistry as a result of this type of lifestyle. Today we know more about the scientific facts of our food and of our body, and therefore we can be more effective in treating ourselves so that we can thrive instead of have chronic disease for the majority of our life. And therefore there is no excuse in doing this and eating such foods, even if they were necessary for survival back in the time. Today we have transportation, we have technology, we can live mostly on a plant-based diet and get what we need mostly without a problem. We don't have to do this. Plus we don't have to endure the cataclysmical effect of such an animal-based diet on our planet.
And to thrive, as you say, what should the human body be fed?
We should just look at nature and look at other animals that are 98+% identical to us genetically and see what they're eating. And then, after understanding what they're eating, we need to modify it to fit our environment. Each person is inspired at a different time after having gone through a certain path. Some of us develop a desire to eat healthy only when we have become really sick. Some of us change our diet only because of humanitarian reasons, and some of us because of ecological concerns. Therefore, we are not exactly the same. Each one of us has a different genetic blueprint that would indicate that some of us could handle certain foods more easily than others, or having difficulties with some food more than others. The same is true for other animals. They don't have significant rules. They don't combine the food in certain ways. They don't choose to always do this and then that. They don't have calorie counting in their lifestyle. They don't care so much to eat this food or that food because of its level of nutrients. They simply eat what nature provides, don't they? Therefore, we should think about it in the same way. So obviously, in a natural environment, we would go to nature and start foraging. Right? We would be picking different plants and seeds and leaves and fruits and bulbs and roots and stems. We would be eating everything that the trees and the plants would provide. We would be eating all those things, and we would have a huge variety. Thousands of plants. And each season there will be a different part of the plant showing itself as edible. When I go foraging and I lead people on foraging trips, I see how many foods we have to eat. And I am shocked at how few we actually eat today when we go to the supermarket. So let's keep that in mind.